The scientific heritage of India is very strong, including innovations, from finding the tools of modern mathematics to many other areas of astronomy to architecture. India's scientific heritage has been very profound. The Digital India program is basically designed to reassert the heritage of India's technological past, blend it with the modern times to make India a digitally empowered society. And therefore, ICEGOV movement globally and Digital India movement makes India an ideal host for the ICEGOV 2017. Through Digital India, we are creating new tools like MyGov, like common service centers, verifiable digital identity of 1 billion plus Indians, digital delivery of services, subsidy for the poor directly to their bank account. All is being done through a very judicious use of digital technology to make India an empowered society. Surely, the foundation of good governance being laid through application of digital technology is going to be strengthening the larger cause of digital governance which the ICEGOV is promoting globally. And therefore, this conference is a great opportunity for the world to know India's experiences and for India to have a first-hand knowledge of the global experience. The global and the local are going to meet in the historic ICEGOV 2017. I welcome the delegates from nearly 32 countries. Welcome to India. See the extraordinary march of India of making India a digitally enabled society for ordinary Indian in the quest of a larger philosophical conviction, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, namely development of all with the cooperation of all. With that larger perspective, welcome to all of you in India.
I welcome all the delegates and participants of ICEGOV 2017 to New Delhi from 7th to 9th March and wish the conference a great success. India is delighted to host ICEGOV 2017 as it has direct connections with the goals and vision of Digital India program. In fact, both ICEGOV and Digital India program aim at increasing the penetration of digital technology by bridging the existing digital divides. Digital India program understands that it is essential to build up the corresponding human capital necessary for making optimal use of the technology, while ICEGOV through its sessions brings together the brightest brains of the society to share experience and best practices for achieving the said objective. Events like ICEGOV, with their enormous reach, create a large repository of literature on ICT, and I believe this huge repository can address the issue of bridging the knowledge divide in developing nations. Digital India program is also bringing various departments of Government of India to provide transparent, timely and reliable delivery of public services to its citizens in a cost-effective manner, thereby building an inclusive society. I wish and hope that ICEGOV 2017 will bring forward endless opportunities to discuss new areas of digital inclusion and ways and means to use technology optimally for sustainable growth of the nations.
In the morning, as we start tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, the first keynote address, this is by Jane Fountain, and this is on political priorities and administrative performance. The third keynote lecture is going to be again on day 2. That's planned for the second half, wherein we look into more of the technology-mediated administrative performance and development, and that comes from Geoffrey Walsham. And the fourth keynote address is going to be on day 3, that is on the 9th of March, where we have implementing sustainable development goals with digital government aspirations, capacity gaps. That's going to be addressed and delivered by Tomasz Janowski, who's also going to be there with us in the inaugural session. 4 plenary sessions which we have planned in these 4 days. On the 7th of March, we have at 5:20 the challenges with co-creation, how to mobilize citizens. That's the plenary session which we have with the various distinguished dignitaries who are going to be discussing on it. We also have Mr. R.S. Sharma, who's the chairman of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, joining us in this plenary session. On the 8th of March, again in the morning hours, we have a plenary session wherein we discuss, is digital governance replicating existing priorities of the administrative system, or it is facilitating access and empowerment? Discussions around this is going to be there on day 2. Day 2, again, we have another discussion with our distinguished participants on is the nexus of technology, governance and development possible under the Sustainable Development Goals framework. That discussions, again, we have with the various national as well as international speakers. And on the 9th of March, we have building digital government capabilities for sustainable development goals, condition or outcome. That's going to be the last plenary discussion which we are going to be having. That's going to be on the 9th of March. And then there's also going to be a closing keynote address which happens again on the 9th of March. It happens just before the valedictory session. The valedictory session is going to be at 5:20 on the 9th of March. Just before that, we have a closing keynote on democratic aspects of digital government for human rights, and that's going to be by Mr. Frank Larue from UNESCO. So that is how the plan is. The entire program has been extended to you in the kit bags. In case, then also if you have some queries, some information which you are seeking, we have the booths outside, our representatives. Kindly get in touch with them, and any information, any query you can seek from them.
The scientific heritage of India is very strong, including innovations, from zero to redefining the tools of modern mathematics, to many other areas of astronomy, to architecture. India's scientific heritage has been very profound. The Digital India program is basically designed to reassert the heritage of India's technological past, blend it with the modern times to make India a digitally empowered society. And therefore, ICEGOV movement globally and Digital India movement makes India an ideal host for the ICEGOV 2017. Through Digital India, we are creating new tools like MyGov, like common service centers, verifiable digital identity of 1 billion plus Indians, digital delivery of services, subsidy for the poor directly to their bank account. All is being done through a very judicious use of digital technology to make India an empowered society. Surely, the foundation of good governance being laid through application of digital technology is going to be strengthening the larger cause of digital governance which the ICEGOV is promoting globally. And therefore, this conference is a great opportunity for the world to know India's experiences and for India to have a first-hand knowledge of the global experience. The global and the local are going to meet in the historic ICEGOV 2017. I welcome the delegates from nearly 32 countries. Welcome to India. See the extraordinary march of India of making India a digitally enabled society for ordinary Indian in the quest of a larger philosophical conviction, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, namely development of all with the cooperation of all. With that larger perspective, welcome to all of you in India.
I welcome all the delegates and participants of ICEGOV 2017 to New Delhi from 7th to 9th March and wish the conference a great success. India is delighted to host ICEGOV 2017 as it has direct connections with the goals and vision of Digital India program. In fact, both ICEGOV and Digital India program aim at increasing the penetration of digital technology by bridging the existing digital divides. Digital India program understands that it is essential to build up the corresponding human capital necessary for making optimal use of the technology, while ICEGOV through its sessions brings together the brightest brains of the society to share experience and best practices for achieving the said objective. Events like ICEGOV, with their enormous reach, create a large repository of literature on ICT, and I believe this huge repository can address the issue of bridging the knowledge divide in developing nations. Digital India program is also bringing various departments of Government of India to provide transparent, timely and reliable delivery of public services to its citizens in a cost-effective manner, thereby building an inclusive society. I wish and hope that ICEGOV 2017 will bring forward endless opportunities to discuss new areas of digital inclusion and ways and means to use technology optimally for sustainable growth of the nations.
May I request all the people who are standing, please take your seats. People who are standing on my extreme left-hand side, kindly be seated. Shortly, we are going to be commencing with the inaugural session. And as mentioned, we are going to be joined by our Honorable Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, the Chair of ICEGOV 2017, who's going to be inaugurating it shortly. So kindly take your seats. Also requesting you all to please have your mobile phones on the silent mode or on the meeting mode, please. Once again, just a humble request to the people who are standing in front of the entry gate, which is right in front of the stage. Though the gates have been closed, but people are still standing. The distinguished dignitaries are going to be escorted in the hall from that gate. Kindly make way, keep that space open, please. May I also request people who are standing in the aisle kindly clear the way, please? So to all the people who have just joined us, let me once again take this opportunity of extending greetings to all of you on behalf of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, to the 10th edition of ICEGOV 2017, thanking all our very esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, our special invitees, the honorable ministers of various participating countries. As I mentioned, there are 35 participating countries. We have almost 200 international participants along with our national participants and delegates. We have the respected secretaries of various departments joining us. We also have the heads and the senior representatives from various development agencies, from various universities, national as well as international of high repute, who are working in the areas of e-governance. We also have technology experts present with us, the solution providers. In fact, there is an exhibition which is organized outside, which is going to be soon inaugurated just after the inaugural session. And there we have the display of the state-of-the-art products and technologies, case studies, best practices, the various e-gov initiatives which are being taken by the Government of India along with the other countries. We would like to in fact express our thanks to UNESCO and the United Nations universities, who are our co-partners in organizing this conference. So many thanks to them. And once again, our greetings to all of you from India, and of the day. Welcome to all of you to ICEGOV 2017. Once again, requesting you all, people who have just joined us, please take your seats. There are still certain seats which are unoccupied, or in case you're not able to find the seats, we have our representatives who are going to be guiding you. And also have your mobile phones on the silent mode, please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honourable Minister is already in the complex. Anytime now, he's going to be joining us. May I request people who are still in the aisle area and closer to the gates, kindly take your seats, kindly clear the way, please. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcoming the chair of the ICEGOV 2017, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, the Honourable Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, and also the Minister for Law and Justice, Government of India. Also our greetings to the co-chair of the conference, Her Excellency Ms. Maria Manuel Leitão Marques, the Honourable Minister of Portugal for Presidency and Administrative Modernization. Also greeting the Honourable Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, and also the Minister of State for Law and Justice, Shri P.P. Chaudhary, and all the other distinguished dignitaries and speakers of the inaugural session. Please take your seats. Namaskar to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a great pleasure to be welcoming all of you in the cradle of human race, the land of zero, the land of Fibonacci numbers, the land of the father of fiber optics, and the land which is the only country in the world to have successfully launched 104 satellites in the orbit on a single rocket. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's India. And that's the power of digital India, which today is in a unique position to leverage technology and globalization and to lead from the front in exploring these limitless possibilities of technology in connecting governments, businesses, the citizens across the globe, and to set a global roadmap towards digital governance. We, the people of this digitally empowered India, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all of you to the 10th edition of ICEGOV 2017. Opportunities ready to explore these possibilities with technology and with the support of all of you. And symbolizing that is this lamp of knowledge and wisdom. So we mark the auspicious inauguration of ICEGOV 2017 by lighting the ceremonial lamp. And I would like to request the chair and the co-chair to please collectively light the lamp and mark the auspicious inauguration. And also requesting all the other distinguished dignitaries on the dais to please join in. And in the interest of our international participants and delegates, we light the ceremonial lamp in the beginning of any auspicious ceremony. Each wick which is being lit and is being passed from one person to another, that represents the sharing of knowledge and wisdom. And that is how we grow and evolve in our work, in our professions, by imbibing knowledge, by sharing knowledge. And further, by lighting this lamp, we also reaffirm our commitment to be sharing with the world, to be connecting with the global communities, with the global leaders, in sharing our knowledge, sharing the success which we have been able to achieve with the world towards creating a better world. As India has always believed, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. With the participation of all, we aim for the growth of all. That's symbolic of this lamp, the lamp of knowledge and wisdom, seeking the blessings of the Supreme Power. Thank you to the chair and the co-chair. And ladies and gentlemen, with this, the auspicious inauguration as per our Indian traditions and customs of ICEGOV 2017. And after having welcomed the Almighty in our thoughts and expressions, we would now like to extend our greetings to all the distinguished dignitaries here on the dais. And once again, living to our Indian tradition of Atithi Devo Bhava, that is, the guest is akin to God, we would first like to extend greetings to our special guest, the co-chair of ICEGOV 2017. Our greetings to Ms. Maria Manuel Leitão Marques, the Honorable Minister of Portugal, of Presidency and Administrative Modernization. And to welcome her, I would like to request one of the senior leaders of the Indian government, a very tall leader who is the chair of ICEGOV 2017, Honorable Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji. Ladies and gentlemen, India and Portugal have always shared cordial relationship, excellent political, bilateral trade and cultural relationship, and with this we further look forward towards building these bonds of equal partnership. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to express our thanks and extend greetings to the chair of ICEGOV 2017, our Honorable Minister, who in fact has been the chief architect and the chief orchestrator of the Digital India program as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister towards connecting 1.25 billion population of this country through technology and creating a society which is knowledgeable, which is empowered, which is inclusive, and which is equitable. And leading it from the front is our Honorable Minister. In fact, I would also like to mention here, ladies and gentlemen, it has been because of his leadership and his passionate commitment that today India is also the land of millennia, where we have almost 200 million youths aged between 18 and 34 coming of age on the internet and working towards transforming India. And he, ladies and gentlemen, leads this Digital India program, which is bringing about this transformation. So we thank the Honorable Minister for leading this summit also, and I would like to now request and invite Dr. Ajay Kumar, the Additional Secretary, to please accord a floral welcome and good greetings on behalf of everyone present here to the chair of ICEGOV 2017. And also our greetings to our Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, whose support and guidance to the industry has always been there. We would like to thank Shri P.P. Chaudhary ji, and I would like to request Shri Sanjeev Mittal, Joint Secretary, to please extend greetings to the Honorable Minister of State and also to felicitate him. May I now also to present the shawl. Thank you. May I now request and invite Shri R.K. Sudhanshu, Joint Secretary, to please extend greetings to the Cabinet Secretary, Shri Pradeep Kumar Sinha ji. Our greetings now to Ms. Aruna Sundarajan, respected Secretary, and to extend greetings, I would like to request and invite the President and the CEO of the National E-Governance Division of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, respected Ma'am S. Radha Chauhan, to please welcome respected Secretary. Now requesting and inviting Shri Premjit Lal, Director NEGD, to please join us here on the stage and extend greetings to Mr. Aoyagi Shigeru, UNESCO Director and Representative India, Bhutan and Sri Lanka. May now request Shri Vinay Thakur, Director NEGD, to please join us here on the stage and extend greetings and welcome Mr. David M. Malone, Rector, United Nations University. Ladies and gentlemen, very distinguished leaders joining us to extend their views. We extend our greetings and thank them for gracing the occasion. And now inviting Ms. Gitanjali Agarwal, the Senior Consultant at NEGD, to please extend greetings to Mr. Tomasz Janowski, ICEGOV Series Coordinator, and also he is the founder and the coordinator of ICEGOV. Thank you. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we open the doors to these discussions and deliberations, and at the very outset, I would like to request respected Secretary, Ms. Aruna Sundarajan, for her opening remarks and also for her welcome address.
Respected Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, Honorable Minister for Electronics, Information Technology, Law and Justice, respected Mr. David Malone, Rector of United Nations University and Under-Secretary General of the United Nations, respected Ms. Maria Marquez, Honorable Minister of Presidency and Administrative Modernization, Portugal, Guest of Honor and Co-Chair, respected Shri P.P. Chowdhury, Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, Law and Justice, respected Shri P.K. Sinha, Cabinet Secretary to the Government of India, respected Agayogi Shigeru, Representative Director, UNESCO, respected Mr. Thomas Janowski, Founding Head of the UNU ICEGOV and the ICEGOV Coordinator, my colleague Srimati Radha Chauhan, CEO, National E-Governance Division, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. At the outset, a very warm welcome to all of you to Delhi, to India, and to this, the 10th edition of the International Conference on Theory and Practice of Electronic Governance, ICEGOV 2017. I am particularly delighted to welcome all our international partners, UNESCO and the UN University, distinguished academics from over 30 countries, our partners from industry, NASSCOM, Intel, Microsoft, our knowledge partners from Amrita and KPMG, UNICEF, colleagues from the Government of India, the various ministries, regulatory bodies, colleagues from the state governments representing the various states of India, and media. The ICEGOV 2017 is the product of almost a year's effort. A year of engaging the world's stakeholders, the wealth of experience that these stakeholders bring, and the leading expertise available across the world in the area of e-governance, a field that has by now become central to how governance is conducted everywhere. Each country, each region, each stakeholder brings their own unique and rich experience to this field. And we too in India believe that as we embark on the journey of empowering 1.25 billion people, we believe that the lessons from Digital India will also hold rich insights as to how we can collectively empower the people of this world. The ICEGOV conference was envisaged as a platform where we can each learn from the reserves of experience, insights, and knowledge that the world community of stakeholders represents. We have been overwhelmed by the energy and the generosity of the response that this conference has drawn. Today, I am delighted to mention that we have participation from over 60 countries. We have received 560 papers, which is almost 3 times the number of papers that have been there in the past. And we have more than 1,600 participants at the conference today. In partnering with ICEGOV, we have an opportunity to draw on a formidable resource. The ICEGOV community includes no less than 1,500 authors and reviewers from over 100 countries, from fields as diverse as scholarship, public service, industry, and international organizations. This rich array of researchers, industry collaborators, public servants, and thought leaders will be sharing experiences and insights over a range of topics and tracks over the next 3 days. From fundamental questions on digital citizenship and digital culture and inclusion, through domains including digital healthcare, education, and e-government, to larger questions of governance, including open government. We will also have a series of special events and speaker sessions on various operational and technological themes, including geographic information systems, financial inclusion, the cloud, smart government, data analytics, and security. Each of these topics and the speakers have undertaken a year of planning and dialogue with all stakeholders. We hope that at the end of these discussions, we would have been able to share best practices and models, ideas and innovations, but also many common challenges and dilemmas that we can only hope to resolve through common collective effort. On this occasion, I want to specially mention 5 people, 5 very special delegates who will be speakers for session 10 of this summit. Angrija Basu Bhattacharya, a former journalist who chose to become a village-level entrepreneur, a community digital worker in 2009. She recently participated in our national digital finance campaign, where she opened 750 bank accounts for tea garden laborers at a nearby tea estate. Lily Meadow, who started her work as a village-level entrepreneur in the Phek district of Nagaland in India's far and remote northeast. With a single computer set, she surmounted connectivity, power, and geographic remoteness to provide digital services in her own village, Futsero, as well as neighboring villages. Tanuja Raichura, a former graphic designer and animator who left a promising career behind to work as a digital village-level entrepreneur in one of the toughest tribal districts in Chhattisgarh. Today, her Digital Common Services Center is amongst the top CSCs of her entire state in terms of revenue generation and she has transformed life for thousands of residents in her area. Priyanka Bali, a former technical specialist at Dell India, who left her multinational career behind to launch her work as a digital village level entrepreneur 2 years ago. Priyanka today provides digital literacy training to a number of women in her village. And finally, Sadhana Sharma, a mother of two, a former electronics engineer and teacher, who set up her digital common service center in India's heartland, Moradabad, and also India's largest state in 2015. She started with 4 computers. Today, her center has 40 computers. She provides employment to 12 people, and she has a large number of women who are employed with her. I mention these 5 ladies because they represent the spearhead of India's Digital India program. They are providing the energy and the impetus to an effort that I say without, I believe, any exaggeration, an effort that aims to do no less than change the course of India's development. Through Digital India, launched by this government, we aim to mobilize one of the world's largest pools of digital talent that today leads in providing software services to the rest of the world. We aim to harness this digital talent to solve some of the globe's most enduring and intractable challenges, whether it is agriculture, health, education, or lack of skills or financial exclusion for vast sectors of our populations. We aim to harness this talent to build tools, rural telemedicine systems through our DigiGaon project, streaming educational content in village schools, biometrically enabled bank accounts on mobile phones that anyone can access. So, while we recognize that it will take the world time to provision our remotest villagers with the best doctors and our remote schools with the best teachers, we believe that digital technologies now provide the tools with which we can aim to allow our remotest and our most excluded citizens access to all the services that we can aspire to in urban areas. We believe that digital technologies can change the lives of ordinary Indians very deeply. Indeed, we are testimony to the kind of change that is already underway. Getting workfare, school scholarships, rural housing grants. For decades, this depended on one's gender or the power status or the availability of services in one's own location. However, today in India, we are beginning to see all this change. Today, we are seeing that with one thumbprint through the Aadhaar, people are indeed able to access various services. It is impossible to express or convey fully what this simple change means. But you in this audience, I believe, will understand the enormous significance of these changes. We in India are embarking on possibly the world's most ambitious digital transformation program to bring the benefits of modern technologies to improve the lives of 1 billion and empower all Indians. We are currently building the large programmatic engines that will drive this accelerated takeoff of India's development trajectory. Over the course of the next few days, our discussions will touch on these mechanisms. Aadhaar, the world's largest biometric program covering 1 billion citizens. Our 250,000 village-level entrepreneurs comprising perhaps the world's largest army of community digital workers under the Common Service Center program, and the new e-governance platforms and mobile banking that will service most of our citizens. But all of this, these vast programs, these exciting new technologies, this enormous array of talent developing it will mean nothing unless we can empower people like the 5 young ladies who work in the heartland of India's villages. Without them, our tools and programs and technologies will fail to achieve our basic objective, to change every human life for the better. As I close, I request you all, as you share and discuss your experience and insights, and analyze the challenging questions your sessions deal with, to keep these 5 ladies, Angrija, Lily, Tanuja, Priyanka, and Sadhana, in mind. Let your insights drive and strengthen their effort and maximize their impact. This will help us all, here at the 10th ICEGOV Summit, pass the test of Mahatma Gandhi's famous talisman, to be of use to the poorest and weakest human being we may have seen. Once again, on behalf of 1.25 billion Indians, I bring you warm greetings and welcome to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am, for setting the tone and the context of our discussions. And as you mentioned, the journey to transformation for India has already begun with the various enlightened minds whom you mentioned, and we are ready to take it forward now. And now, may I request respected Cabinet Secretary, Shri P.K. Sinha ji, for his views and thoughts on this occasion.
Co-chair of this conference, Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Government of India, and Minister for Portugal, Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Government of India, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Really happy to be here on the occasion of this international conference on the theory and practice of electronic governance, or e-governance as it is popularly known as. While I don't know much about the theory of e-governance, but I'm certainly familiar with the practice of e-governance and its multiple benefits as a tool for transparent and effective delivery of public services to the citizens at large. While on the one hand, it enables us to target the beneficiaries and eliminate the middlemen, on the other, it ensures that the benefits are not misutilized. In a country of our size and population, it is particularly relevant as it enables us to reach out to millions of people simply by the click of a button. India has emerged as a global leader in the field of information technology. What better proof of this than the fact that today both Microsoft and Google are being driven by Indians. Sundar Pichai at Google and Satya Nadella at Microsoft. In fact, information technology has been a major contributor to the Indian growth story. The government is according a very high priority to the Digital India program, which will serve as the backbone for promoting e-governance in the country. The program cuts across all sectors, such as education, health, agriculture, industry, social empowerment, procurement of goods and services, and even promoting digital payments. We have a very ambitious program under implementation for laying optical fiber network right up to every village in the country. We are also setting up common service centers in all 2.5 lakh village panchayats of the country, most of which have already been established. These initiatives will facilitate the spread of the Digital India program throughout the length and breadth of the country. Mobile phone penetration has also increased by leaps and bounds. There are about 100 crore mobile phones in the country, out of which about 30 crore are smartphones. We are in fact fast moving from e-governance to m-governance. Today, your mobile phone can do almost everything that a computer can do. Therefore, I think the conference may also like to examine the imperatives and the challenges of this shift from e-governance to m-governance. I believe that the word e-governance may soon be forgotten, and we will be talking of m-governance. Another area which requires serious attention is cybersecurity. With the extensive usage and application of e-governance, we need to adopt foolproof measures to ensure the safety and security of our IT systems. I hope the conference will be focusing on this important issue as well. With these words, I congratulate the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, for having organized this conference in association with UNESCO and the United Nations University, and thank them for having invited me. I'm sure that the deliberations planned over 3 days will turn out to be extremely useful. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your constructive views and guidance towards the success of digital governance. And ladies and gentlemen, as many of you might be aware, that ICEGOV is actually a United Nations conference with an international development focus. There has been a lot of thought, in fact, which went behind organizing this series. So I would like to now request and invite the founder and the coordinator of ICEGOV, of the ICEGOV series, requesting and inviting Mr. Tomasz Janowski for his thoughts on this occasion.
Honorable ministers, secretaries, dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the ICEGOV conference series, I would like to warmly welcome you to the opening session of ICEGOV 2017. Since its establishment, the ICEGOV series has traveled the world, starting in Macau in 2007 and then visiting Cairo, Bogota, Beijing, Tallinn, Albany, Seoul, Guimarães, and Montevideo before arriving for its 10th anniversary edition here in New Delhi. This decade-long global journey witnessed vast changes in the digital technology and digital government landscape. Back in 2007, Facebook just opened to the general public. Apple Digital App Store was still awaiting its debut. Less than 4% of the Indian population used the internet, and half of the 20 common public services were delivered online across the European Union. Today, Facebook has 1.3 billion active users. Apple App Store contains over 2 million mobile apps. 1/3 of the Indian population use the internet, and 80% of all public services are delivered online across the EU. Digitization has brought enormous benefits to societies in terms of access to public service for underserved or unserved population, more efficient, transparent, and responsive public administration, greater engagement of citizens in political and government affairs, and the development of knowledge, societies, and economies. At the same time, digitization is showing its dark side by increasing existing and sometimes creating new inequalities. exposing people to cybercrime and loss of privacy, and enabling mass manipulation of people's political sentiments, often across national borders, as we've seen recently. In order to realize the benefits and address the risks of digitization, policy making in this influential area has to reconsider fundamental questions of efficiency versus equity, security versus privacy, openness versus protection, transparency versus trust, innovation versus control, and rationality versus feasibility, political feasibility in particular. Addressing such questions in every national, local, and sectoral context requires research to gather and analyze data and to translate the findings into policy instruments and policy decisions. ICEGOV established itself as a global platform for conducting such research and communicating its findings to various policy audiences. Before ICEGOV 2007, the ICEGOV conference received over 1,200 submissions written by close to 1,500 authors from 103 countries. Half of the authors are from developed countries and half from developing countries. The largest number comes from the United States and the second largest from India. I mean, the statistics will inverse. The statistics will clearly inverse after ICEGOV 2007, and it will be very hard to beat the Indian contribution to the conference after the 10th edition in New Delhi. The number of authors, very importantly, includes 2/3 of researchers and academics and 1/3 of policymakers and government officials. Remarkably, ICEGOV 2007 received the largest ever number of submissions, 562, written by 1,061 authors from 61 countries, as the Secretary already mentioned, and the result more than triples the number of submissions for the second largest ICEGOV edition. On behalf of the ICEGOV conference series and the ICEGOV community, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the patron of the conference, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and to the local organizers, Digital India and the National E-Governance Division, for outstanding commitment, hospitality, and effort put into organizing the conference. My special thanks go to Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad, Honorable Minister of Law and Justice and Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Sri Mati Aruna Sundarayan, Secretary at the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Sri Mati Radha Chauhan, President of the National E-Governance Division and the conference organization chair, and the entire team from India, including Deepinder Singh, Gitanjali Argaval, and others for many months of intensive work. I would also like to thank the international organizers, the United Nations University Operating Unit on policy-driven electronic governance, which is also organizing the entire ICEGOV series, and UNESCO for all efforts put into organizing ICEGOV 2017. My special thanks go to Elizabeth Simoes, UNU eGov Liaison and Head of Administration, Delfina Soares, UNU eGov Adjunct Professor and Conference Organization Chair, Paul Hector, UNESCO Liaison, and the entire team from UNU eGov in Portugal. Last but not least, many thanks go to my program committee co-chairs, Rehima Baguma from Uganda Technology and Management University, and Rahul De from the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, and to the awards chair, Elsa Esteves from the National University of the South in Argentina. With this, I would like to wish you fruitful participation in the conference, both in terms of academic value and networking opportunities, and to all international participants, enjoyable stay in amazing India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving us insights into ICEGOV. And as you mentioned, ICEGOV has also evolved since time it was instituted. In fact, now there are new challenges which are there, which we are going to be addressing it. And further, ladies and gentlemen, as was mentioned, this is the 10th edition, and the force behind the ICEGOV series has been the United Nations University. So now I would like to request Mr. David M. Malone, the Rector, United Nations University, to please address us.
Thank you very much, moderator. It's a great honor to be with you today. 10 years ago, I was living in Delhi for a few years. An encounter with India is a life-altering experience in the best way, and I hope that the international delegates who are attending the conference will have an opportunity to see more of it while they're here, or will come back to it in the future. Ministers, it's wonderful to be under your patronage today. Thank you very much. For one thing, you attract the media attention, and this is very important to us. So that's a valuable service, ministers. I do want to thank the President and CEO of the National Government E-Governance Division, Radha Chauhan, who has been a simply fantastic partner in organizing this meeting. Organizing a meeting of this size is a challenge, a very large challenge. I want to recognize three other people. Tomasz Janowski, who is the founder of ICEGOV and also the founder of UNU's work on e-governance, first in Macau, then in Portugal. Indeed, there's a very strong Portuguese theme in our meeting today because Portugal hosts our e-governance program today. Dr. Elsa Esteves, who did so much to create a strong bond between our program in Portugal and the university we partner with there, the University of Minho, a modern, new university in a country of very distinguished older universities, and it's very exciting to be embedded within the University of Minho in Portugal. Now, touching on a theme or two that the Cabinet Secretary touched on, of course, e-governance brings tremendous benefits, and it's been wonderful to see India over the last 10 years embrace the unique individual identity number program that makes everything else possible. Both governments involved have supported it very strongly. But there are also risks, and e-governance is no panacea to overall good governance. It can be extremely helpful, but it is also, in many ways, much more vulnerable than classic governance has been to disruption. And I want to congratulate the organizers of this conference for emphasizing both dimensions. The very positive dimensions of e-governance, which attract all of us to it, but also the risks, the vulnerabilities, which are very real. To give you an example, in my country, Canada, moderately advanced country, the government payroll system was paralyzed for 6 months by 1 or 2 glitches. Only 1 or 2 glitches were enough to paralyze that system and to deprive many government employees of pay for over 3 months. So that gives an idea of the risks before we get too enthusiastic thinking there are only benefits. But the benefits are very real, and for citizens throughout the world, They provide very often very high quality and immediate service. I don't want to go on any longer. We're already quite late in our program. We want to hear from the ministers. But I do want to conclude by thanking my colleague Luis Barbosa, who has taken over from Thomas in directing the e-governance program of UNU. Thank you all very much for your attention.
Thank you so very much, sir, for your thoughts addressing both the pros and the cons ICEGOV has been of technology. And ladies and gentlemen, now looking more into the role of UNESCO in ICEGOV, I would like to request and invite Mr. Ayoyogi Shigeru, the UNESCO Director and Representative here in India, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka.
Honorable Minister of Law and Justice and Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad. Honorable Minister of Presidency and Administrative Modernization, the Government of Portugal, Madame Maria Manuel Leotão Marques. Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Shri P.P. Chaudhary. Secretaries, dignitaries on the dais, and ambassadors, distinguished guests, and participants. It is my great pleasure to share a few words on the occasion of the opening of this very important and relevant conference on behalf of our Director General of Information and Culture of UNESCO, Mr. Frank Larue, who could not attend this morning session, but who will be able to be with us for the sessions later today. I wish to thank, on behalf of UNESCO, the organizers of the conference, the Government of India, the Government of Portugal, and United Nations University for organizing this 10th edition of ICEGOV. This premier multi-stakeholder event is an important forum for bringing together a range of global actors to focus on the topic of knowledge societies, from digital government to digital empowerment. For UNESCO, this conference is an important occasion to develop new partnerships and renew efforts and commitment to the shared task of building knowledge societies. Knowledge societies are societies in which people have the skills, competencies, and attitude to use knowledge and information to enhance their livelihood and contribute to the social and economic development of their communities. Knowledge societies are at the heart of UNESCO's preoccupations and are key to the sustainable development. Electronic governance systems have a crucial role in enhancing access to public services, sharing and connecting societies the information and knowledge, such as information in the public domain and knowledge embedded in national systems and processes. However, achieving digital empowerment and the full participation of citizens in governance requires more than infrastructure. It calls for strengthened institutions, citizenry equipped with the skills, attitudes, and competencies, but perhaps most of all, an overarching social vision and institutional frameworks that encompass plurality, inclusion, solidarity, participation, and respect for human rights. These concepts are captured in UNESCO's Rome Principles, which stands for human rights-based, open, accessible to all, and nurtured by multi-stakeholder participation for internet governance that UNESCO's member states adopted in the year 2015. The 2030 Development Agenda for Sustainable Development creates a new context for action. Knowledge societies and digital empowerment are essential for their realization. All countries, whether developed or developing, are facing the challenges of the tremendous pace of technological innovation and change, particularly with respect to information and communication technologies. Innovation and technological progress can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers the promise of enhanced service, quality, and effectiveness across a range of fields such as education, health, and agriculture that are essential to human well-being and prosperity. However, left unchecked, these innovations can deepen existing inequalities and create new ones, leaving behind those who are most vulnerable. Women and girls, youth, people with disabilities, persons in conflict and disaster-prone areas, ethnic and linguistic minorities, and other marginalized groups in all societies. So, we cannot just invest in technology or give free rein to innovation, rather than we must also consider and address their ethical and societal dimensions. Technology by itself does not empower. Its use and content does, so we must, above all, invest in individual women and men, in their human rights and dignity. And we must invest in institutions that promote the rule of law. We therefore salute the government of India and the government of Portugal for their pioneering efforts, commitment, and leadership in promoting national electronic governance strategies based on holistic approaches. Strategies that address human capacity building, the strengthening of institutions, crucial for ensuring human rights, equitable and inclusive participation are central to sustainable decision-making and governance processes. We look forward to learning more from these and other rich experience from you all. In closing, I'd like to underline our gratitude to ICEGOV and the ICEGOV community for their collaboration with UNESCO's Intergovernmental Information for All program. This has led to the publication of the 2 volumes. One is the Knowledge Society's Policy Handbook, and the other is the Knowledge Society's Policy Library. This ambitious project seeks to provide policy guidance and resources to support member states in developing their knowledge society strategies and frameworks. We look forward to continuing this important endeavor and invite others to join this initiative. Once more, UNESCO welcomes the opportunity to deepen its participation in the ICEGOV conference series and continue to work closely with other like-minded partners like you to create enabling environment to support inclusive knowledge societies and digital empowerment for sustainable development. I wish all the best, and then I would like to listen to you. UNESCO would like to listen to your deliberations during the course of these 3 days. I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the pronounced role which UNESCO is playing towards promoting e-governance and through that creating a more holistic growth and evolvement of our societies, our people and planet. And now requesting and inviting the co-chair of ICEGOV 2017, Her Excellency, Ms. Maria Manuel Leitão Marques, the Honorable Minister of Presidency and of Administrative Modernization, Portugal, for her reflections.
Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here today. Thank you very much for the invitation. And let me start by saying, great minds do not think alike. ICEGOV is proof of that. People come here from all over the world, from different countries, different cultures, and different experiences. None of them thinks alike. And I think it's safe to say that all of you are great minds. We are here today to discuss the use of technology to transform the work of government and its relationships with citizens and businesses. We are here today to improve public governance and its contribution to public policy and development. Thomas Paine, the English-born revolutionary who became one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, once said, "I do not believe that any two men, or what are called doctrinal points, think alike who think at all. It's only those who have not thought that appear to agree." While I agree with the first part of this statement, I beg to differ on the second. Yes, there are not two minds that think alike, but they can come to an agreement. They can reach a consensus and a solution. ICEGOV is also proof of that. Throughout the conference, we are going to discuss eGov issues and to exchange our expertise and experiences. Together, we will have breakthroughs and we find responses for some of the questions we bring to the table. This great mix of government representatives and academics, researchers, all have different insights in each and every topic of the conference. Together, we'll be able to push eGov boundaries and to create new ways to reach what we all have in common, our main goal. So, what is that? What is eGov goal? What is our main goal? I ask this because sometimes technology may seem an end on its own, and it is not. The evolution of the World Wide Web shouldn't let us lose the focus on what's really important, to create a better whole wide world for everyone. That is our goal, to make life better for citizens and businesses by simplifying due process, to improve trust in government. Don't get me wrong, ICT in a very broader sense, including artificial intelligence, is probably the best way to move in that direction. But it's not a path in its own, and it's not the destination. How do you get there? That is what we are here to discover. New ideas, new methodology, new process, new paths. Therefore, ICEGOV is the uttermost importance because it allows us to share our knowledge. It allows for great minds who do not think alike to come to some agreements and to actually create change around the world. This is why it's an honor to be here today, to share with all of you our experience, the Portuguese experience, in how to make life easier and better for citizens and businesses. I hope we can all prove at the end that Thomas Paine wrong, and I wish all of you a good conference. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, ma'am, for highlighting that the soul of ICEGOV is the diversity of ideas and experiences, and with that leading to the change and transformation and building a better world, which is the goal of ICEGOV. And may I now request our Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology and also the Minister of State for Law and Justice, Shri P.P. Chaudhary, for his address.
Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Law and Justice, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, Honorable Minister of Presidency and Administrative Modernization, Portuguese Government, Ms. Maria Manuel Leto Marques, Cabinet Secretary to Government of India, Shri Pradeep Sinha ji, Secretary Minister of Electronics and IT, Government of India, Madam Aruna Sundararajan, distinguished dignitaries on dais from UNESCO, United Nations University and ICEGOV, distinguished experts and functionaries of e-governance from India and all across the world, distinguished delegates from the industry and academia, President and CEO NEGD Srimati Radha Chauhan, and friends from print and electronics media. I welcome you all at the 10th International Conference on Theory and Practice of Electronics Governance. Government of India, especially my ministry, MIT, is extremely delighted and proud to be the host of such prestigious global event. Friends, it is matter of great pride for us that this year's theme of ICEGOV conference, Building Knowledge Societies from Digital Government to Digital Empowerment, touches at the very core of the Digital India program of the Government of India, which is a vehicle for fructifying our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi's vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, that is collective efforts, inclusive growth, and mission of minimum government and maximum governance. In a country as vast and diverse as India, a population of around 830 million out of a total population of 1.25 billion lives in rural areas. The citizens living in these areas are served by more than 260,000 institutions of self-governance known as village council or Gram Panchayats. Digital India, one of the marquee programs of the Union government, aims at bringing about a digital revolution in the country, especially in rural India. The father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, famously said, India lives in her villages. I would like to envision the same in front of this august audience. Friends, the Digital India program lays significant thrust on creating robust digital infrastructure across the country. Under the ambitious BharatNet project, the Government of India has aimed to create high-speed internet networks across each of the 260,000 Gram Panchayat by the end of 2018. This shall be further taken to every household through Wi-Fi hotspots, further for citizens in rural and remote locations. With limited access to computers, mobiles or internet, government has involved village-level entrepreneurs to man common service centers with a view to provide e-services of the government to such citizens including banking, insurance, PAN card, Aadhaar, passport, bill payments, railway reservation, skill development, etc. at negligible or no cost. Friends, through ubiquitous digital infrastructure, the Government of India aims at ensuring efficient delivery of digital services to its citizens on demand in most cost-effective and time-bound manner possible. For ensuring transparent and effective delivery of services to the citizens, the Government of India has leveraged the Aadhaar platform. In Hindi language, Aadhaar means foundation. This platform has given biometric-based digital identity to around 1.12 billion residents in India till date. The Aadhaar platform, coupled with over 270 million Jan Dhan bank accounts and over 1 billion mobile phones, with over 35% of them being smartphones, has created a gem, trinity, that is Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, mobile, forming the edifice for effecting a digital revolution. As on date, around 84 schemes of government are using Aadhaar, which has prevented pilferage of subsidies worth USD 5.4 billion. When all the 500 plus schemes of government are brought under Aadhaar, yearly savings due to targeted delivery alone would be in the range of USD 11.25 billion. Further, through one of the largest citizens' engagement platform in the world, ICEGOV, short for My Government, citizens are being actively engaged in the process of policy formulation and implementation. Thus, by ensuring the robust penetration of a wide gamut of digital services, the Digital India program envisages the digital government empowerment of the citizens. To this effect, a digital literacy mission has been undertaken by my ministry, MIT, which has trained over 8 million people across the country till date. An ambitious drive focusing rural areas and targeting digital literacy for 60 million households within the next 2 years is being initiated. Such efforts aim to bridge the divide between the haves and have-nots, using technology leading to holistic empowerment of citizens across all strata of the society. This would bring about a government of the people, for the people, and by the people in the truest sense. Friends, the empowerment of the citizen in rural India also depends on providing quality support in 3 critical focus areas of the rural society and economy, namely health, education, and agriculture. The Government of India has taken a significant strides in these areas in the last 2.5 years. If we look at our country's public healthcare system, government has taken a number of initiatives such as e-hospital, hospital information management system, online registration system, e-OSDI, as well as e-blood bank for citizens at the bottom of the pyramid. However, there is a need to further innovate to provide cheaper technological solutions using technologies such as artificial intelligence. To give an illustration, there can be a virtual nurse and virtual doctor, which can advise patient even to an operation or render advice on the precautions to be taken after an operation. Similarly, telemedicine needs to be made affordable and available closer to the patient's premises. In education sector, we need innovative solutions for developing reliable systems of content delivery and 3D content creation for use of students to make learning easier and fun while retaining its collaborative aspects. In agriculture sector, the Government of India is committed to doubling the income of the farmers and has taken several initiatives in this direction, such as electronic national agriculture market, a dedicated TV channel for farmers, DD Kisan, soil health card scheme, etc. However, there is need to further innovate and provide low-cost technologies that assist in preserving organic purity and medicinal benefits of the agricultural produce, preventing contamination and adulteration. For bringing about a rural renaissance through technology, in the Union Budget 17-18, Government of India has announced a DG Gaon, that is Digital Village, initiative to provide telemedicine, e-education, and skills through usage of digital technology across the country. Friends, at the end, I am happy to note that ICEGOV 2017 has witnessed a record number of submission of papers around 560 of them, on topics as varied as open government, digital citizenship, digital inclusion, etc. I hope that the learning and sharing of experiences will be both ways, and the global community will be benefited from our Digital India-related experience and success stories. I would also like this August gathering to introspect whether an institutional structure of ICEGOV on the lines of IMO, ICAO, ICANN, etc., would further the universalization of e-governance efforts across nations, as well as standardization in areas such as digital identity. With these words, I wish the conference a big success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the vision of empowerment and the vision of inclusiveness which India has with Digital India. And ladies and gentlemen, as was said, India has always believed in the power of togetherness, sabka saath, sabka vikas, collective ideas, collective minds shaping and creating a better world. And towards that, today India is becoming one of the first countries in the world towards creating a collaborative platform to invite these ideas. And must I mention, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a platform which is made in India, but is truly global in nature. The platform called Open Forge, and I would like to request now the Honorable Minister, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, to please launch Open Forge platform.
Digital India is growing. Digital India is growing. Digital India is progressing. Digital India is reaching out to more and more people, touching their lives. Most importantly, Digital India is changing the way we work. One of the foundations of the Digital India initiative is built on the philosophy of openness and sharing. India has now become one of the first countries to create a dedicated collaboration platform for e-governance that is truly global in nature. Welcome to Open Forge, a public collaborative software development platform that is made for the world to show it cares for its people. Open source and community development practices are used by leading internet platforms like Google, Facebook, Twitter and Wikipedia while building their products. The government has brought the same open, share and collaborate philosophy to e-governance. Open Forge aims at building innovative, modern, standardized and high-quality software through the use of best information sharing, tracking and communication tools. Most importantly, it is a high-quality asset that is going to save on development time by promoting reuse and ready customization, and will be available for free. In our test phase, we have seen results of savings up to 50% in software development costs of our government's DigiLocker program. Over 50 projects are already using Open Forge, notable amongst which are DigiLocker, Government e-Marketplace, Smart City Municipal Suite and ERP Next. But Open Forge is not only for the government, it is also for communities, industries, educational institutions, corporations and startups to build their applications that bring about change and betterment for the masses. Even the global community can reuse the resources available on our Open Forge platform and help transform the lives of millions across the world. Welcome to Open Forge. Build together. Grow faster.
By the Government of India towards connecting governments, businesses and citizens across the globe. And we all are aware of the Sustainable Development Goals, but for them to be met, it is necessary that the national vision translates into strategy with effective milestones for implementation. And as far as India's Digital India program is concerned, it resonates with the Sustainable Development Goals. So we are now ready to share it with all of you. We have now the launch of the Digital India Global Roadmap, and once again requesting our Honorable Minister to please launch it.
A vision without a goal is incomplete. A goal without commitment is not a mission. This is a part of our commitment to the mission of Digital India. one that transforms the lives of 1/6 of the world's population. A transformation that empowers us to share our experiences with the world. As the world begins the implementation of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, India, being a signatory, has already taken the lead with its Digital India initiative. Our achievements under the Digital India program are focused on digital infrastructure, services, and empowerment, which are directly linked to the building blocks of the Sustainable Development Goals that aim to end poverty and hunger, improve health, provide quality education, and create a cleaner, safer environment. Digital India projects like Aadhaar, which provide a digital identity to everyone, MyGov, which encourages collaboration amongst the government, industries, and citizens, common services centers that are providing multiple essential services to citizens, Mission on Agriculture and Public Distribution System, which aim at food security. Achievements like these have given us the conviction to lead and share our knowledge, experience, and capabilities with the world. This is our commitment. This is our mission. This is the Digital India Global Roadmap for a better India, for a better world.
Also have the release of the document, once again requesting the Honourable Minister to please release the document entitled Digital India Global Roadmap. This document, ladies and gentlemen, highlights the performance and the prospects for Digital India to exemplify India's enhanced global role and share its working model for the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals. This document will serve as a reference guide to policymakers for optimally using technology for solving social, economic, and environmental problems of societies. It also shows the roadmap to collaborate on multiple fronts, namely leveraging successful Digital India projects, also sharing experiences, best practices, and capacity building through global institutions. And we hope that this is going to be helping to come together, better together, working towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals much before the target of 2030. And ladies and gentlemen, as you heard from our speakers, the aggressive efforts which India has been taking towards transformation through digital governance, whether it is through Aadhaar or DigiLocker or digital payments, and now that GST is going to be now rolling in, India today is definitely in a position to showcase to the world the success which it has been able to achieve towards this transformation. So we now have the keynote address on From Digital Empowerment to Sustainable Development, Lessons from India. And this keynote address, ladies and gentlemen, is by the Sutradhar and the Vastukar of the Digital India program, our Honourable Minister. I would like to request Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji for
distinguished colleague, Minister of State P.P. Chaudhary, distinguished Cabinet Secretary P.K. Sinha, Mr. David M. Malone from the United Nations University, Thomas Janowski, founder of the ICEGOV, Aruna Sundarajan, Secretary of the Department, Mr. Ayogi Sheru, Director of UNESCO. I hope I have correctly pronounced you. If there is a mistake, forgive me. Distinguished Chairman of TRI, R.S. Sharma, J. Satyanarayana, Chairman of the UIDI, Mr. Chandrasekhar, President of NASCOM, IT Secretaries of State, other officials, and Radha Chauhan. I must name you and your team. You have done a good job. My very warm greetings to 60 delegates, from 60 countries with the traditional Indian welcome. Namaste. This namaste is not only a typical Indian greetings. There is a philosophy behind it. This is you and this is me. And the coming together represents, let's come together by mind and by heart for a better world, for a better humanity. That's what namaste represents. Ladies and gentlemen, why I took the name of Radha? Let me, at the very outset, tell you something very interesting about India. IT and electronics is a department handling strictly technological subjects. Obviously, my other profile is the Minister of Law and Justice. And the senior-most civil servant in the department is Arna Sundarajan, who is a distinguished woman officer. Radha Chauhan heads the ICEGOV, again a distinguished woman officer. And NIC, which is the backbone of India IT Connect, is again headed by a distinguished woman scientist, Neeta Verma. This is a very textbook case of empowerment of India. And why I say so, ladies and gentlemen, Indian IT company has been the toast of the world. They are present in 200 cities of 80 countries, giving value addition to more than 75% of the 500 Fortune companies, seeking to change the profile of India, employ directly 3 million people, 1/3 are women. Therefore, Indian IT initiative is a great example of women empowerment. India is a very ancient country of only 7,000 years of recorded history, but very young and modern. 65% of Indians are 35 years and below. We draw upon our heritage for wisdom. Don't forget, zero was invented here. The complicated grammar of geometry was written here. And yet we have moved on in quest for a better world, in quest for a mutually collaborative world. And today, ICEGOV being held in India is again a reaffirmation of the classical Samvad tradition of India. Let us debate, let us dialogue. And this emerged from the great philosophical heritage of India as reflected in the famous Rigaveda, Ekama Sadavipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one, wise men interpret it differently. You have your own perception of truth, I have my own. You seek your own path, I will seek my path. You respect my path, I will respect your path. Because in the ultimate analysis, your path and my path merges at the same destination, wherein lies the ultimate truth, infinite, eternal, permanent, in quest for a better world and better human being. That has been the philosophical tradition of India. And ICEGOV is going to debate, going to discuss many of the agendas you know very well. I wish you good luck. But what has impressed me the most, ladies and gentlemen, is the theme which you have selected, building knowledge from digital government to digital empowerment. This theme resonates with our own commitment of digital India. Under the transformative leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is involved in some very transformative programs. Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, Stand Up India, Smart Cities, all are powered by technology, designed to make India a more empowered society and Indians a more technologically enabled and informed Indians. That is our fundamental commitment, which we are encouraging and fostering. And the benchmark for this was laid down by our Honorable Prime Minister when he was campaigning to get elected as the Prime Minister of India by the people of India, and which he got elected by a massive majority. He coined a very powerful slogan, IT plus IT is equal to IT, which means information technology, IT, plus India's talent, IT, is equal to India tomorrow, IT. That is the slogan he coined as a great enabler and inspiring movement to make India a technologically better society. What is the fundamental philosophical postulate of this whole movement, ladies and gentlemen? The fundamental philosophical postulate is banking the unbanked, funding the unfunded, securing the unsecured, pensioning the unpensioned, taxing the untaxed, and giving voice to the unheard, educating the uneducated. These are some of the fundamental postulates of Digital India and other accompanying movement which we have unleashed. How we are doing it? By the simple application of digital technology. On 28th of August 2014, we usher in a mission mode movement, banking the unbanked. All those who are not having bank accounts must have their bank account. And in a short span of 6 months, we opened 115 million bank accounts, which became a Guinness Books of Record. And now the number has swelled to 275 million. The second philosophical postulate, ladies and gentlemen, is our technology must be affordable. Our approach must be inclusive. And our goal must be developmental, more for the poor. And as I have stated earlier in many of my observations, and let me reiterate before this August gathering, Digital India is more for the poor and underprivileged. And what is our aim as? All those Indians involved in simple manual work must be empowered with the application of digital technology to make a better life, and which has already started giving results, which I would like to explain subsequently. Let me say about affordable. You just heard about Aadhaar. I'll talk about it a little later, a very metamorphosing program. Aadhaar, DigiLocker, payment system like Beam, UPI, are at a fraction of the cost we have heard world over. And today, common people are using it with great benefit. It has to be inclusive. India's population is 1.25 billion, and no digital transformation can be meaningful unless it touches the lives of every Indian. Therefore, it has to be inclusive. What my distinguished MOS said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Development of all with the cooperation of all. That is the mantra which we are following. And it has to be for the poor, poor-centric. We are focusing upon financial inclusion, on giving relief to our farmers, e-scholarship for our underprivileged students and others, connecting the hospitals of India so that the poor can get registration at a click of a button. Education is skilling. You heard about the DigiGaon initiative, which the Secretary and the MOS talked about. What is DigiGaon? We propose to empower 1,000 villages in the first pilot project with a theme focusing upon education, on health, on skills based upon digital connect, virtual classrooms. These are indeed transformational programs. And I would like to emphasize to my distinguished guests who have come from outside today that UN has fixed 17 goals for sustainable development, ladies and gentlemen. Digital India is a living and live example as to how, by technological spread, you can usher in sustainable development. And I would like the delegates present here in the coming 3 days to coolly reflect upon it. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the digital profile of India? A population of 1.25 billion plus is home to 108 billion mobile phone. You heard 350 million, 35 crore smartphone. What is a smartphone? A moving computer. Now even a rickshawala or a carpenter or a mason has a passion that he will take only a smartphone because he knows a smartphone is a storehouse of information. That is how it is working. We have got 1.12 billion Aadhaar card. What is Aadhaar? A digital identity of every Indian. Today, 99% plus of adult Indians are on Aadhaar, kept under completely safe, secure condition, duly backed by a parliamentary legislation, where any unauthorized use can invite penalty, both criminal and otherwise. That is the condition. But what is important is, we have created this technology just for $2 each. And we undertake 20 million verification every day at zero cost. That is the enormous reach and power of Aadhaar. And I would like my distinguished guests from abroad and all those in ICEGOV to kindly analyze how transformative Aadhaar has become. Today, close to 490 million bank accounts are seeded to Aadhaar. My distinguished Minister of State talked about JAM. What is JAM? Jan Dhan I talked about, Aadhaar I have talked about, mobile phone I have talked about. We linked the account of the poor people with their mobile phone, verified by the Aadhaar, and started delivering their subsidy directly to their bank accounts to remove ambiguities, pilferage, and fictitious claimants. And how much we have saved? More than $8 billion, 49,000 crores in the last 2 years. Because we believe digital governance is good governance. Digital delivery is faster delivery. Digital accountability is effective accountability. The Cabinet Secretary talked of the change from the e-governance to the m-governance. He raised a very valid point. But my take as a minister is different. In India, we are experimenting with new technologies and laying the foundation of new ground rules. We did not know in India when we metamorphosed from E to M, because mobile governance by its own logic has become the most important component of good governance. And I think that is there for the world to see. DBT I just talked about, but let me highlight one thing, this direct benefit transfer. Because we are talking of digital delivery, accountability. The DBT movement which has picked up in the country, direct benefit transfer, today has become a point of consensus among all the governments, central and states, that the delivery goes directly to your bank account and empowers you. And yes, we are going to cover over 900 million people across 500 schemes over this year. Other is digital payment. These are all transformative programs, ladies and gentlemen. The cash component of Indian economy was very high in comparison to others. It was giving rise to a lot of, I would say, not very desirable consequences. Then we initiate digital payment. Now, can you believe the homegrown products like Aadhaar-enabled payments, like UPI, like other apps, the mobile wallets, which have also been sanctified by the architecture of Reserve Bank. Today, the million transaction has risen from 4 million per day to 121 million per day. And the overall annual growth is 1,200% in the last 3 to 4 months. Can you just believe it, how fast India is changing? And our whole idea is to usher in 25 billion transactions in the coming financial year. Now, from farmer to e-marketplace, to e-hospitals, to scholarship, to biometric attendance, why MyGov is important? Engagement with the people of India. We don't engage with people only during elections. We also engage constantly with them. Today, 40 million Indians engage on a daily basis with our government, with me, with our people, with the Prime Minister. That is the scale we are working with. Common Service Center has been talked about much. I must tell you, I am fascinated by them. And I insisted, called some of them in this conference. Give them a space, give them respectability. Because all of you debate do debate, it's their right, but they execute on the ground. And the powerful manner in which they have replicated the digital delivery, they are delivering 300 services in nearly 200,000 kiosks of India, what we say common service centers. And I involved a very special program. Devyani is sitting here, that some of the most deprived women will be commissioned into training for launching common service centers. About 300 very poor, deprived Dalit women had come, and how they are changing their life. Therefore, digital inclusion is all a part of that process, which we are encouraging in a very, very big way. Social media is important. And since many delegates have come from abroad, you must know the vision of Narendra Modi government. All the ministers are on social media. We take complaints on social media. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. And therefore, you'll be happy to know that Facebook has the biggest presence in India after USA. So is Twitter. All the technology are enjoying in India. They're not only headed by Indians, India is also a big market for them. We completely believe in the freedom of social media because India is a democracy governed by the rule of law and constitution, subject to reasonable restriction which our constitution provides for. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the general larger commitment of the government of India and the people of India as far as internet is concerned? Internet is one of the finest creations of human mind. It must be available for all and should not become the monopoly of few. Therefore, we have clearly stated, and I have repeatedly articulated, the right of access must be without discrimination. And if internet is one of the finest creations of human mind, in order to become truly global, it must have linkage with the local. Local ideas, local culture, local views must also be reflected on the internet. And thirdly, it is very important, if right of access is to be given due encouragement, all those who have contributed in the evolution of internet must be involved, and therefore we very strongly articulated the idea of multi-stakeholder model as far as internet governance is concerned. Because in the development of internet, the academia, the scientific community, the civil society, the universities, the government, all have contributed. And we have to work together to ensure that this particular extraordinary gift of human mind must be preserved, because in India we have always encouraged pluralism. Diversity has been the essence of India. All those who have sought to create what India is, what scientific contribution is, must be involved in that process. That's what we have done. There is two issues more I would like to flag, ladies and gentlemen. India would be a voice of moderation. India's would be a voice of reason. India's would be a voice of assimilation as far as internet discourse is concerned. But let me make it very firmly clear, India's would be a voice of assertion in favor of those who are digitally deprived. India's would be a voice of assertion in favor of those who are digitally discriminated. Because Digital India is designed to bridge the divide between digital haves and digital have-nots. I think this is very important that we understand through digital technology, we are creating an equal world. And why I am very committed about it, ladies and gentlemen, as an activist from my student life, I have seen the world grapple with various ideologies in quest of equity, in quest of growth, maybe from Marxism to socialism to our abiding philosophy of Gandhism and to many other ideologies. I have respect for all. But a new kind of ideology is emerging without creating ideological barriers from the digital technology. A more empowered human being, a more informed human being, a more enlightened human being, and a more assured human being. That is what the view we think digital technology is there to offer. And Digital India is designed to make that process more sacrosanct. Yes, if internet has to remain powerful and meaningful, it must be safe and secure. And I'm happy Mr. P.K. Sinha, the distinguished Cabinet Secretary, talked about cyber security. Few people are abusing digital technology for terrorism, for hatred, for extremism. That we need to work together. And Mr. Maloney rightly pointed out how two gentlemen disrupted your entire payment system in Canada. But we have not to be unduly worried about it. My take is always, we have to go for information highway. In the same manner, occasionally accidents do take place on national highway or big international highway. It doesn't mean you stop making them. You only caution, tighten your seat belts more, takes precaution more, have a speed limits more. I think if that collaboration we are able to do in a multi-stakeholder model and the world over, some of these challenges will be surely addressed. I always feel, as the PM has rightly said, cyber war is akin to a bloodless war. And the civil society need to take care of that. Today, I'm going to make an announcement that India is willing to have the widest cooperation world over in the quest of cyber security. We are reaffirming our own walls in a very big way, from cyber coordination center to cyber training to cyber drills. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I see cyber security as a great potential for employment. We also wish to improve human resource in a very big way. We have got a big scheme of PhDs in the field of electronic manufacturing. I wish to tell you, India is emerging as a big hub of electronic manufacturing. In the last couple of years, we had nearly almost $25 billion plus investment in electronic manufacturing. In the last 2 years, about 72 mobile manufacturing plants have come in India, 42 mobile manufacturing and about 30 component manufacturing. We are pushing electronic manufacturing in a very big way. And the Indian digital economy is going to become a $1 trillion economy in the coming 5 to 7 years. So India is not only creating digital inclusion, India is also laying the ground rule for a very promising business proposition. And when I say digital economy, I mean communication, I mean electronic manufacturing, I mean IT and in IT-enabled services, I mean e-commerce, which is booming in India, and also the cyber security initiative with all its ramifications. And therefore, the second announcement which I have to make is, the Government of India will ensure provision for 100 students from all the participating countries to do their PhD in prestigious University of India in quest of electronic manufacturing and creation of more human resources. That is the second announcement I have to make. And the third announcement which I have to make is, we have a very powerful NKN, National Knowledge Network, on which we have got about 1,600 universities of India available. We have good connection with TN4 and GIANT of Europe, and Internet 2 of US, and Madam Minister, even the Portuguese connection is available with our National Knowledge Network. We wish to offer that this NKN facilities will also be available to other countries of Southeast Asia, of Asia and Africa. They are willing to have a proper cooperation in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, what is my concluding take? My concluding take is, Digital India and the initiatives of India are going to metamorphose India. I have not the slightest doubt. Some of the initiatives I already outlined, and some of the players will be here, and I would request you to interact with them, how they are changing India. But an India digitally empowered, an Indian digitally enabled is also an asset for the world. By the sheer number which we enjoy very much, we flaunt our number 1.25 billion plus. And if this 1.25 billion plus gets empowered, surely the other countries of the world can take lessons from them to make their society more inclusive, more tolerant, more empowered to make a better world. That is our whole attitude. I welcome all of you in quest of a better world for which ICEGOV is involved. My greetings, namaskar, thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Minister Sir, for sharing the bigger vision of Digital India, and through that the bigger commitment and the larger commitment which the Government of India has towards improving the life of 1.25 billion population and extending them a good life. It's all about India, it's about our Bharat, it's about creating a better, safe and secure world, and India is ready to take the leadership role towards it. As we conclude the session, now I would like to request the President and the CEO of National E-Governance Division, Ms. S. Radha Chauhan, to kindly propose a formal vote of thanks.
Namaskar. Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Law and Justice, the driving force behind the Digital India initiative is the source of our confidence in taking on and hosting this event. Sir, I extend heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the ICEGOV Organizing Committee for your presence and the powerful inaugural address. An address that is inspiring in vision and surely encourages each one of us to its pursuit. We reaffirm with renewed vigor and resolve to move onwards with this digital mission. My sincere gratitude to Her Excellency, Minister of Presidency and of Administrative Modernization, Madam Maria Manuel, for gracing this occasion and sharing her thoughts. Madam, we keenly look forward to your elaborate keynote address in the evening today. My gratitude to Minister of State, Electronics and IT, Law and Justice, Shri P.P. Chaudhary ji, for his presence and for his guidance at various stages of planning and management of this event. I thank Shri P.K. Sinha, our Cabinet Secretary, for his presence here and sharing with us the vision and priorities of the Government of India on digital government, moving to empowerment. My thanks to Madam Aruna Sundararajan, our Secretary. Thank you, ma'am, for your unstinting support and guidance at every step and truly leading our team in putting together this event. I acknowledge the great seamless support provided by our program partners, United Nations University and UNESCO, and thank them for their meticulous diligence in drawing up an interesting array of subjects and speakers here. A very special, warm gratitude to Thomas Janowski, the ICEGOV series coordinator, and gratitude to David M. Mellon and Aoyagi Shigeru from UNU and UNESCO, respectively, for their immense support in drawing up this ICEGOV 2017 and for their gracious presence today. And I also greet Frank Laru, who has just joined us. Welcome to India and welcome to ICEGOV 2017. Our expert resources here provide us with huge repository of knowledge and experiences. We appreciate your taking time out of your very important schedules, and thank you for your invaluable participation. I would like to thank our academic partners, telecom partner, industry partners, university students, Digital India volunteers, and surely my colleagues from across the states and ministries for their presence here that signals to their commitment to the cause of digital government and what we all believe in. Thank you to the friends from media for their support in carrying the message of significance of India hosting ICEGOV 2017. Team Indigo, our event manager, for working very hard through the past few weeks and hopefully continue till we conclude. The officers and staff of the Ministry of Electronics and IT and National E-Governance Division who are here and are going to ensure that each one of you is able to participate and contribute to the event. Thank you, one and all. And I was also given a slogan that I must end with by one of the participants. Digital India now is beyond India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving us the slogan also. Digital India is now beyond India. And keeping that thought, taking it forward, we now close and conclude the inaugural session. Thanking you all also for joining us. We will now have the inauguration of the exhibition at the hands of our
ICEGOV 2017, New Delhi, India. Come, shape the future with us.